Some games are easy and some games are hard, and there's no denying that. I would be stupid to argue that all games are on the same difficulty level. For the topic of discussion in this video though, I'm not going to think about that. I'm going to run an idea by you guys, and maybe it'll change your perspective, or maybe the way you think entirely about skill when it comes to first-person shooters. Now, the gameplay you're seeing here is me playing Insurgency, and let me tell you, I am bad at Insurgency. I am new to it. I am, well, not new to PC gaming, but I am not used to gaming on my PC as much as I am my peasant box, so go easy on me. Also, the COD 4 gameplay isn't that good either, because I got both of these gameplays on the same day. It's hard for me to go from PC Insurgency to Xbox COD 4, or MWR. So let's talk about skill. Now, this is going to be a brief video. I don't have a lot of time. I'm hungry, it's late, and I'm about to do a live stream. But I hear a lot of people saying that games like Call of Duty don't take any skill. And when I ask people what do they mean by that, because I'm kind of on that side of the fence as well, I think Call of Duty's skill ceiling is lowered on purpose so it's more intuitive and, you know, easier for new people to pick up. I think most people know that Call of Duty's an easy game to pick up, it's very intuitive, but it's really hard to master. I don't know, you might not think so. But let's go back to this. It's easy to get a kill in Call of Duty. But what's the other side of that? This video is mainly me just debunking this part of that argument. If it's easy for somebody to get a kill, then it's easy for somebody to die. If getting kills is fast, intuitive, and has a really short skill gap, then you're gonna find yourself dying a lot more often. If the maps are too easy to learn, then they're easy to learn for everybody. Here's what I'm getting at. Every video game has its own set of rules. Some shooters have guns with lower recoil and faster times to kill, meaning everybody is dealing with less recoil and a faster time to kill. It comes back to my original point I made on my channel a long time ago. If Call of Duty doesn't take skill, or Battlefield doesn't take skill, or some people even say Counter-Strike doesn't take skill, then how can anybody be bad at them? The game applies rules to you as a virtual entity within the game. How you navigate those rules and how you rise up above other players that are also subject to those rules is the point of every shooter. That's why COD is easy, it takes no skill, but then how is there that one guy in the match that can never drop below 40 kills? He reads every spawn, he knows every nade spot, he knows when to jump shot compared to when to drop shot, he knows his weapon, he's consistent. He has not only learned the rules, he loves the rules. He's subjecting himself to those rules over and over again until they are law. Because if the game took no skill, then everybody would be good at it. Or everybody would just have a 1 KD, but that's not what we see when we go online, is it? Now, a game can have an entry point that's very difficult. Now, I've seen a lot of Team Fortress 2 videos talking about how it's skill gap. It's hard to get into, it's really hard to master, and then it doesn't change. Well, that's not a TF2 thing, that's every first-person shooter, to varying degrees. Now, some shooters, like Call of Duty, are easier to pick up and play. Then the subtle things are what you have to learn. Or the not so subtle things. I don't know if people consider spawn points subtle or not. But how to stay calm under pressure, how to go for long streaks, how to stay alive for long periods of time, how to control spawns, how to manipulate spawns for your team, different equipment and perk combinations. And I'm not even talking about competitive, I'm talking about pub stompers. Now, if a game was harder to learn, it was less intuitive, it did less of what you thought it should, you know? The guns kicked more, things swayed more, your player wasn't as responsive and fast, then fine, it might take you longer to master that game than other games. But everybody in the match with you is subjecting themselves to those same rules, and the same meta applies to everybody, even those who attempt to break it. So maybe I'm talking a little out of depth in this video, and maybe I'm not making a lot of sense. Basically, if the game is easy, if the game is too easy, then it's too easy for anyone. But in fact, what we see is people that subject themselves to the rules of the game to varying degrees, equaling varying levels of consistent skill. If you indulge in Call of Duty Black Ops 2, and you have been indulging in it since 2012 and you haven't stopped playing, The rules are law. You know the game inside and out. Your confidence has increased. Your knowledge is vast. And opponents that are new to the game are going to have a lot of trouble going up against you. Now, in some games, it might take longer to get to that point where you're so confident and knowledgeable. But every game has that point. And what a lot of games want to do is lower that skill ceiling down a little bit so that new players don't join, get their asses handed to them, and they stop playing. Call of Duty, because of the hardcore fan base, is already losing a lot of players because people log on and they get their ass kicked so fast. The average COD player on these modern CODs, these futuristic CODs, are so fucking fast that new players, just noobs in general, can't deal with it. So personally, I like higher skill ceiling games, but I realize that when I'm in a game, whether it's COD or Squad, that rhymes I guess, which take very, very different levels of skill and knowledge, it's still the same thing going on. Two teams subjected to the same rules, and how do you react within your boundaries? How do you learn these rules? How fast will you pick up on information? Do you have the heart of a learner, or are you going to go against the grain? And I think those things go into video game skill and first-person shooter skill way more than this game's easier than this game. It's all relative. As soon as you're in that game, everybody has the same rules. It's open fucking season. So let me know what you think of this video. Did it make sense? Did it not make sense? Let me know what you think. Am I wrong? I'd love to know if I'm wrong. I've tried to disprove this to myself over and over again. I've bounced the idea around with other people. They all seem to agree. But if I'm missing something, let me know. And if you made it to this point in the video and you're still not getting it, let me give you one more brief summary. Games have their own set of rules. Whether they're easy to pick up or harder to pick up, everybody has to pick them up. And what you do within your boundaries is what makes you a good or bad player. A good COD player and a good Battlefield player are two completely different things, but at the end of the day, that COD player is still good because he adapted to his rules within his game. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and I'll see you when I see ya. Goodbye! I don't want to start telling people to leave a like every time. I feel like it's kind of unnecessary. You're gonna like the video if you like the video, and I have a lot of you guys that like the video before you even watch it. I don't recommend that. My videos might suck, so don't do that. No one's watching at this point. My viewer retention's not this high. What am I doing? See ya.